What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. I am so happy to have you guys here. Listen, if this is your first time here, welcome. Hope you enjoy the content. If it's not and you've been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, click that like button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And guys, if you haven't opened a Webull account yet, which is my main platform that I use and I show you in my charting and my trading on my videos, then drop down in the description in the link below and you can go ahead and get that free money. They're offering up to 20 fractional shares for you to open that Webull account. Go ahead and get in there and get that free money, guys. Anyway, it is Tuesday, May 20th, and it's end of day, close to end of market. Matter of fact, the market's going to close here in the next few minutes, and it's been a very interesting day running in the market. So you kind of always have to say, well, what caused the market to kind of run today? A lot of news, a lot of different things going on, but not really one specific thing that you would say was causing the market to crash or run down or retest, or in that matter, wasn't really the type of news that caused the market to run up or, fly to the moon. So it was kind of an average day. I actually appreciated today in the market. For those of you that have been watching my videos for a while know that I day trade APLD, Applied Digital, because it brought me back to sort of pre-tariff talk, sort of some of the volatility of the market before all that started, where I had trended APLD. I knew exactly what APLD was going to do the following day, depending on where it closed in the market and depending on what the S&P 500 did. We're sort of back there a little bit. I'm able to trend it a little bit better now. It's not as volatile, and that's why I like APLD, because if you're not a trader that likes to get into these penny plays or these volume plays where it runs really fast up and then potentially you can get rug pulled and lose everything, it runs consistent. Once it turns and it's running in an up momentum, it's going to run in an up momentum. Once it turns and runs in a down momentum, then it's running in a down momentum. And you can really, based on your knowledge of candlesticks and understanding support and resistance, it's a stock that is very easy to trade, very easy to get in and out of, very easy to make money. I'll throw it up on the screen here today. I made $120 on it this morning. I think I got in it at $6.62, and I think I got out at $6.74, somewhere around there. I'll throw it up on the screen so you can see it. But that's how I like to day trade, guys. I'm a retail day trader. I jump in when I see the candlesticks are going in the right direction and resistance and support are right. I do look at volume also because it tends to build up through the day. But that's how I get in and out of those. Wolf, WULF, is another one I made money in today. I want to say I only made about 12, 13 cents per share. But guys, you buy 1,000 shares, you buy 1,500 shares, that's 150 bucks. So I'm not at all unhappy. And my goal as far as my day trading, I've said it before, and so you understand, my goal is to make at least $100 per company, per stock, per trade. Per day. If I make 100 bucks, I close the computer and I walk away from it on that stock. And I did that today in APLD and in WULF. But let's kind of take a look at the news a little bit and see what's happening. So you guys know I love Yahoo Finance news, and I actually also follow NBC News. They have a live Trump, cam, basically talking about everything that's happening with President Trump. And to be honest with you, it's not a political thing, guys. It's not whether I voted for Trump or I didn't, or I'm Republican or Democrat or liberal or from the planet Mars. It doesn't make a difference to me, guys. I've told you, in a down market, I'll still make money as a day trader. In an up market, I'll still make money as a day trader. But the volatility of every time Trump speaks, whether I like him or not, sometimes things happen at the podium that cause the market to drop. The market doesn't like it. They're not happy. And so the stock market goes down. Well, that's my opportunity when that happens, to get in low, to buy stocks lower, and to go up and in value. For example, I did all my day trading today and I was done for the day. But I happened to notice that President Trump got up and spoke. He's talking about the one big beautiful bill, and the market wasn't real happy with it. NVIDIA, SoundHound, Serve Robotics, all these different stocks that I love to trade are on a down. They went down. They spent a good period of time this afternoon running down. So guess what, guys? I bought SoundHound. I got in at $9.98. I don't even know where it's at right now. We'll take a look at it on the chart and see where it's at. I might be happy, very happy surprised, but I don't plan on selling that today. That's going to be one I hold on to for the morning to see what the market does and let it run tomorrow. And then I'll get out of that. More of a swing trade for me. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's in the news today. So Trump administration, the president urged the House GOP to pass the budget bill. And then you had, RFK that Jr. that was grilled on the cuts in a hearing this morning with Congress. Trump actually at this meeting warned the conservatives against pushing for deep cuts to Medicaid and told the blue state Republicans to drop their efforts to raise the cap on state and local tax deductions known as SALT. And then, like I said, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was really grilled by the Senate Democrats about cuts at his department during his testimony this morning. It was an Appropriations Committee meeting talking about the new administration budget's request. Also, really not something that kind of affects the stock market unless you are looking at defense stocks, and there are many of them out there. President Trump is actually going to announce who his point person is going to be on this missile defense plan. If you haven't heard about this one, Trump's expected to announce a new point man to shepherd the ambitious plan to build a comprehensive missile defense system to protect the American homeland. This is something that Trump ran on in his campaign. He talked a lot about it, and it's something that he's felt is very important. And it's believed that Air Force General Michael Gwenlane, the vice chief of space operations, which is always kind of cool. I remember when he created the Space Force, U.S. Space Force. Thought that was kind of cool. You expect Yoda to kind of stick his head out and be like, "May the Force be with you." But anyway, he's going to be selecting this Air Force general to oversee this so-called Golden Dome missile defense system. And we believe that was going to happen at a White House press conference today, a briefing, but not sure if that actually happened or not. But in the briefing, he talked about that this Golden Dome, which is this multi-layered missile defense system, really has become a priority for the Pentagon. It's going to take several years to fully realize, and although Trump wasn't expected to discuss any specifics of the vision about that today, he's going to name Gwenlane, for the one who's going to lead the way and carry the torch on this missile defense system. And if you really kind of think about it, guys, that's pretty important for us as the United States. We've got to protect ourselves. We spent all these years, not just because of President Trump, but all these years over many presidents, allowing other countries to become more sophisticated and grow in their defense systems against us. But we weren't spending the right amount of time or money in ensuring we have the right defense system for us. And so when you look at all the money we send to other countries to help them with different programs and different, foundations and all this, why aren't we spending that money here? I don't know about you guys. I live in South Florida. When I drive down the road and I hit 50 potholes on the way to my job, I'm like, why are we not spending money to fix our roads? Why are we sending money to other countries so they can build their roads? None of that's ever sort of made sense to me. And it might just be a bad opinion or my view, but it's not political, guys. I'm just telling you how I feel about being a taxpayer and what, as an American citizen, what I believe should be taken care of in the United States where I live. So let's get past the news, guys. Enough about the news. Let's talk about the stock market itself. Let me click into Yahoo Finance. And let's see where we're at right now. All right, so looking at Yahoo Finance stock news, right now, right at about where the market is going to close, this S&P 500 is at 5937, 5,937 points. It is running down about 0.44 basis points, 0.44%. Right now, the Nasdaq's down about 0.45%. The Dow Jones is down about 0.31%. Okay, gold is up, which always happens when the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the S&P come down. Gold tends to go the other way. It's up almost 2%. But at the end of the day, still not a bad day for the market. We're still sitting at a very high level. We did have this 6-day streak with the S&P 500, so we had a little bit of a retest. But guys, that's going to happen. And like I shared in my last video with you guys, I do believe that there is a drop coming with the S&P 500. I don't know when. This could be the start of it. I don't know. But, everybody should be sort of monitoring that and understand what's going on with the S&P 500. All right, let us go to the charts and let's kind of see what's going on there. So here is the S&P 500. You see we're at 5,926 points, or if you're looking at it from the perspective of shares, $592.50 plus cents. And look at this afternoon candle, guys. This is the 30-minute. So we generally had basically this doji candle, which if you guys have gone in and done the training yet, that the first video, the first candlestick training video I did, I talk about doji candles. This is a bit of a gravestone doji right here. Okay, and I'm going to kind of expand out so you can see that. It's not quite to the bottom, which would be the gravestone. It's dead at the bottom with the wick to the top. But it is a doji, and it does show that the sellers pushed after this monster candle down. We're continuing to push down where the buyers were wanting to take over, and the buyers won. And now we're in this second candle, this second 30-minute candle. We're in this third 30-minute candle, and it's a monster. And look, it is about to fill the gap fill. It's going. Look at that, right in front of us, guys. It's filling the gap fill, which means we're going to get close to the next 30-minute candle. And when it hits, that'll be cool. So we'll leave that on there for a minute. Let's see if we hit the next candle while we're talking about it. But the S&P 500 is on a run right now, and it is 13:59. So it's basically 1 minute from closing. We got about 20 cents. 20 cents. We got about 20 seconds before the closing. Let's see what happens once we hit the closing. But anyway, S&P 500 performed pretty well today. If you go to the 5-minute, you can kind of see that it did have some rundown today. It ran down from pre-market, it was up in the middle of the night. It ran down pre-market and kept coming down. And then it had a good period of time where it ran up, and then it did this run down and it ran up, and then it had a hard run down. And I'm telling you, this is right about when President Trump was speaking and at the podium and the news of him speaking. And so the market ran down and all the way down here, 589, and it's done nothing but run up. So in the 5-minute, you see we just hit a red candle, and it did open as a red candle, which is not the best sign for the S&P 500, but that doesn't mean anything. Buyers could still continue to push it up. But again, we are closed. The market's closed. So now, we'll see what happens with that. Let's go to my very first one I share with you that I've been watching, SoFi. Guys, did not have a good day at all. Did not day trade SoFi at all. But I'm going to tell you I'm excited about it, because for me, I'm wanting to get back in SoFi, and I've been waiting for it to get back to less than $13. If it hits under $13, even at $12.99, guys, I'm in it. It'll probably be a long-term hold for me. And I've been sharing that, but it's also a great day trade stock. Today, you had an opportunity to make some money. If you go to the 5-minute on the SoFi, you can see you had a good opportunity right here at, let's see, 13.24, ran all the way up here to 13.33 close. So, opportunity to make some money there. Not anything anyone's going to go crazy about. But it was a mostly down day for SoFi today, and I'm not upset about that. The next one was Wolf. I did make money in Wolf today, WULF. Let's go into Wolf, and you can see that Wolf today did the morning drop just like APLD did, and then it spent a good amount of the afternoon running up. I made decent money in this today. It wasn't amazing, but I did make money in it today. I made over $100 in WLF today. So a good stock for day trading, and I share that with you guys all the time. WOLF didn't have as much luck. I did not trade WOLF today. My brother-in-law says he did trade it, so he was probably in this field here on the 5-minute, but I just didn't like the way it looked today, honestly. Too much red, too much running down, passing through what was resistance levels, turned back to now support levels and broke all the way through. It's now sitting at this $3.11 support level, closed at 313.5. It's sitting at 313. So not one for the day today. SoundHound, let's go. Let's go see what's going on with SoundHound. How am I doing in SoundHound? So SoundHound is sitting at, all right, okay. I got in it at $9.98. It closed at $9.97. It was up to $10.02 after I bought in, but that's okay. Let's see kind of what happens with it. And again, this is not something that I stressed over. If it's, I didn't buy it today as a day trade. I bought it today to let it run tomorrow, because this is a pretty nice run down, and I don't expect this to continue tomorrow. But hey, guys, we'll see, right? And if you buy into good, solid companies like SoundHound, Serve Robotics, Super Micro, APLD, okay, those are stocks that are never going to let you down. They may let you down for a couple of days, but they're always going to rebound. So I am in it. Didn't day trade it, but I am in it today as a swing trade for tomorrow or even the day after. Even though when you look at it, you did have some good opportunities today to use it as a day trade stock. All right, let's look at APLD. I should always show you guys APLD first. APLD is my favorite. It's the best. I love it. I think I should ask them if I could be the CEO, because I can talk positively about APLD. And APLD today opened up and ran hard down. Like I said, I got in it somewhere about here. Yeah, probably right about here at 662. I was in it at 662 and I ran it up. Let's see, that's the first red drop. 673, 662, 674 is where I got out. And then, I did not get back into it. Actually, it dropped. I missed my next opportunity at 671 to get back into it again. It ran all the way to 686. But hey, guys, that's fine. I was busy looking at other stocks and other things. So not an issue. APLD all day long, guys. I love to day trade APLD, and I believe it would be a great one for you guys too. Not financial advice, just my opinion. But take a look, do your research. It's a great day trade stock. Anyway, listen, that's where we're at. Guys, drop me a comment. Let me know how you did. Let me know what you're looking at. Let me know if you traded any of these stocks today. I actually I'm going to give a shout out to a gentleman named Rick. He is actually a service master. He's a master technician for AT&T. I was blessed today by having him show up to my house to do some repairs on my Wi-Fi. It was completely down. They sent me a new router for the house. I was dead in the water. Got it connected yesterday after almost 30 minutes on the phone with a gentleman who I believe to be in India. He did everything he could to try to get me up and running. He couldn't do it. They had to send a technician. Rick showed up, very professional, awesome guy, did a great job. If you're watching this video, Rick, shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much for your help. He made a comment to me today. We were talking about stocks a little bit and said, I sort of looked at that, but I never really kind of got into it. And I'm like, you really kind of should, And he's like, well, I heard you sort of like need like $20,000 to get started in day trading. Okay. You don't need $20,000 to get started in day trading, guys. Throw $100 in the account, throw $500 in the account, right? But don't trade your mortgage, your rent payment, your car payment, the money you need to buy food, to put food on the table, feed your kids. Okay, it's got to be money that you're able to play with and pull out. You got to know your risk. You got to know there's a chance that it could drop down and you could be holding and waiting for it to recover depending on the stocks you're in. But you don't need $20,000. Rick, you don't need $20,000 to trade, brother. You could put $100 in an account, $500 in an account. Listen, I've got my 13-year-old in an E-Trade account, threw $100 in there. He buys a few shares of APLD. Today he bought a few shares of SoundHound, SOUN, and the other day he made $10. Probably in SoundHound, if he leaves it in there through tomorrow, he'll probably make another $10, right? So, you don't need a lot to start. What you need to have a lot of is patience, and you need to learn the game, and you need to master it. You need to understand candlesticks. You need to understand the resistance support lines. Guys, I got a video on that too if you want to see how I do it very simply. But you got to learn the game to know what you're trading and how you're trading and how not to lose money, how to make money. And you can do it every day, guys. If an average Joe like me, can make a few $100 every day in the stock market with zero experience, I'm not a stock market whiz. I'm not a financial expert. I've never been a stock trader. The only time I've been on Wall Street is to stick my head under the big bronze bull and have some fun pictures taken of that. Okay. Guys, if I can do it, you can do it. You just have to take the time to learn. And you don't have to just watch my videos, guys. There's a wealth of knowledge on YouTube. I watch several people on YouTube, several guys that I learn from, but I only trade shares. I don't do options. I don't do covered calls, although I have a guy in my Discord who's going to train me how to do that because I'm curious on it. Not so much to do it, but just to kind of learn and understand it a little bit more. I buy shares, guys, and in APLD, I may buy a call, I may buy a put because I know the trend. So anyway, guys, listen, I hope you have a great day. subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, drop us a comment. And I hope you guys had a great day. I hope you made money doing it. And I hope we get rich together, guys. Josh out. Peace.